Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Wednesday, November 6th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. Major snow, a major fire, and a hurricane. We've got a lot to talk about. Keep calm. It's boom time. Live election updates. Have you heard? Yes, it's true. Harris concedes to Trump. And Trump has stormed back, winning the popular vote, the Electoral College, and potentially the Senate and the House. It's all due to a shift in voting tendencies, as we can see here, the big red shift. More to come on a new channel that we are developing now. Mountain fire, evacuations, road closures, shelters in Ventura County. The high winds up to 100 miles per hour have driven a fire to extreme dimensions. The mountain fire in Ventura County has grown to 10,500 acres, injured several people who are hospitalized, according to the county fire department. The high winds mean retardant dropping airplanes are unable to aid in the firefighting effort. There are roads closed, evacuation orders, and evacuation warnings. Many of the regional areas are being evacuated and people are being sent to shelters. Some buildings have been destroyed and this fire is out of control. Hurricane Rafael weakens after making landfall in Cuba as a Cat 3 hurricane. Bad news for Cuba, the power is out. Rafael had a maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour Wednesday as it made landfall in the western Cuban province of Artemisia. It could eventually approach the U.S. Gulf Coast, but most models are not agreeing with that scenario. The last report, Advisory 14, showing maximum sustained winds at 105 miles per hour, and the track it is taking it into the western Gulf where it will dissipate. And in all of the tracks, it is not really a threat to any of the U.S. Gulf states. Now, while Rafael is now moving away from western Cuba, a hurricane warning remains in effect for the region where life-threatening storm surge, damaging hurricane-force winds, and destructive waves are still possible. Tropical storm-force winds, especially in the gusts, are expected in the lower and middle Florida Keys tonight, but the storm is going to rapidly move west and away from the Keys, which is good news. Here are the spaghetti models, and the majority are lining up to this, making landfall in Mexico or headed to Mexico. Just a few models showing it moving up to Louisiana, and those showing it very weak, just a tropical depression as it moves towards New Orleans, which means that the United States is in the clear. The National Weather Service is warning nationwide 20 inches of snow and winter storm forecast for many states, including Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Washington, and Wyoming. What's going on there? I hope they fire the editor. Winter storm warning. Parts of New Mexico could see several feet of snow. Ho, ho, ho. A winter storm warning has been issued for many parts of New Mexico. Impacts from the storm will be wide-ranging from heavy snow to strong winds. Different areas of the state will see different impacts. We've got the full forecast coming up in just a moment. As the first snow of the season headed to Texas, the nexus of the Schmexes, could blanket the panhandle in 2 inches. It's just the very, very tippity touch of the northwestern portion of the panhandle, but there is a huge snow event coming for Colorado and New Mexico. Take a look at that. Oh my goodness. Now the San Luis Valley has already received 2 feet. We got a few inches here today, and we do have a video up about that, but we'll walk the snow through you. Still snowing outside now, and there's the snow. Thursday night here into Friday morning, heavy snow for the plains of Colorado and the mountains of New Mexico. Could be 16 inches in Taos Valley. And by Friday into Saturday morning, the beginning of the weekend, we're going to be tilting the scales. Could be 2 to 3 feet in some regions. Here's the weekend: Saturday, Sunday, into Monday morning. A little bit of snow for the northwest, maybe some flurries for the northeast, and we'll walk the week through. Monday into Tuesday, a big storm is going to move down through the Rocky Mountains. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Thursday, it will be over in the northern plains. Could be wreaking havoc with Wisconsin, a little bit of snow in Michigan, maybe even western PA and the northeast by the end of next weekend. Take a look at that forecast. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore says I'm making it all up, but it is, in fact, the GFS model. And here's the full forecast: dangerous fire weather conditions in Southern California, snow in the Rockies. A strong Santa Ana wind, it will bring widespread, extremely critical fire weather conditions to many areas of LA and Ventura counties into Thursday. Bad news for the mountain fire. Heavy snow is impacting the central to the southern Rockies and nearby high plains. Hurricane Rafael continues to bring tropical storm conditions to the Keys, but it's looking good for the lower 48. Heavy snow hits northern China. Saudi Arabia deserts see their first snow, and global temperatures cooled in October. Take a look at this. In the Al Jawaf region of Saudi Arabia, witnessed its first snowfall in recorded history. An unprecedented snow arrived on the back of rare weather front that swept through the area, creating a surreal scene of snow-blanketed mountains and valleys where desert terrain usually reigns. This is even where the line is currently being built, I believe. Summer snow in South Africa as well, and cold crop woes in New Zealand. Take a look at that. Mount Fuji getting the first snow of the season. Summer snow in South Africa. Following the heavy snows in September, South Africa has been hit once again in November. Summer snow blanketed parts of the eastern Cape Tuesday, bringing a wintry wonder to typically mild November days. And there is Mount Fuji, finally snow-covered. Seismic update. No quakes of note worldwide, very low-level activity, which is good news for those near fault lines. Space weather has gotten spicy over the last 24 hours, including an X 2.3 impulsive flare there, followed by a long-duration M flare. None of these seem to be producing coronal mass ejections, which means no geomagnetic storms headed our way. We are waiting for a glancing blow from a long-duration M flare days ago, but that hasn't really seemed to develop. Plasma speed has dropped off the cliff in the last 12 hours. Let's refresh this. The BZ holding strong, the phi angle, as well as density and temp. So we're waiting for a spike in the telemetry, and that may push us up to G1 geomagnetic storm. With the plasma speed all the way down at 400, probabilities of any aurora are quite low. But we do have some flaring potential. Take a look at this. Solar activity remained at high levels today thanks to an impulsive X 2.3 solar flare around active region 3883 right here. In addition to AR 3883, another potential flare producer is now turning into view from off the east limb here. It was the source of at least 2 M flares during the past few days, including an M 5.3 on November 6th. We'll get a better look at it as we head closer to the weekend. And with an increased amount of sunspots visible, the solar flux index has risen to 261. How do you like them apples? Now, if you haven't seen it, we've got quite a short video, just over 4 minutes, a greenhouse tour in winter and the first winter weather of the season at Three Canyons Permaculture. There you can see Grammy and Halo. They love the snow. So please click the link after this video and take a gander. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share the video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. And watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. Be safe. We love you. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm.